and Heal Spontaneous Live. As I wait for some of you to jump on and jump in on this virtual hike with me, I am actually find myself, I'm in a shade. I'm hugging up against a couple of boulders here to keep cool as I am back on a second mountain. I completed the first one and heading back to the peak and then heading down to do some grounding, and then I'll get on with my day. I got a busy day ahead of me. But as I wait for some of you to join me, I wanted to touch on a few things just in reflection. Yesterday, I had a show I did with Kelly Gores from Heal Documentary and the paleocardiologist, Dr. Jack Wolfson, yesterday morning at 8 a.m., 11 a.m. on the East Coast. And it was a great conversation. We deep dived into to heart health, cancer health, how to heal from all diseases, and touched on what it takes to be able to rebound and heal from the diagnosis and prognosis. It was a great opportunity for a conversation between Kelly and Dr. Wolfson and myself that unfolded. As I wait for some of you to join me, I will say good morning to Gabrielle coming in from Berlin, Germany. We got Bob. Bob, where are you coming in from again, if you may remind me? Pam O'Donnell, good to see you. Sherry, good morning. I wanted to touch base. By the way, I think it's about 96, 97 degrees Fahrenheit. As I got my headdress on, it is soaked, it's dosed in some H2O, some water. It is retaining it, so my body temperature is about maybe 10 degrees cooler than what the outside variant temperature is. But in any event, I'll give you a little bit of a peek of, this is the backside of the second mountain that I hiked. I've completed that mountain, and I'm on my way back to the peak here. I'll turn around and give you a little bit of that's not the peak, it gives you a good idea of some of what I hike and climb through on a daily basis. I wanted to also talk a little bit about, if you hadn't seen the show I did, Real People, Real Health yesterday, you could catch it on replay on my personal page, as well as Spirituality Gone Wild, and on a page, Real People, Real Health. It's an incredible show. If you have been recently diagnosed with some type of chronic disease or disorder, immune of some sort, it's an opportunity to hear two people's perspectives besides my own as to how it is possible to accept a diagnosis but not live in a prognosis, and actually create change in your life so you can heal mind, body, and soul. So that's a great opportunity to learn more about what you are actually capable of. In the meantime, Bob says he is from Winter Park, Florida. Thank you for reminding me of that, Bob. I appreciate that. Justina, good to see you this morning as well. I also wanted to, I was actually going to deep dive a little bit into my topic today that I was thinking about was being bullied. And where I wanted to go with that is if you have children, or if you have raised children, or even witness nieces and nephews, cousins that would come home from school or even in a home, witness seeing them being bullied, and how it affects you as a parent or as a loved one, how you just want to you just want to protect that child. You just want to, you want to basically prevent them from being, let's say, hurt and in pain and suffering. And I am a parent of three sons, and so I know what it was like for me as a parent when I was aware that my children had in fact been bullied, how I wanted to go in to protect. And that's what instinctively as a parent or as a loved one we want to do for others, especially our children or grandchildren if we're at that stage in our life. Well, this is what I was thinking about this morning is we actually as adults potentially are bullied on a daily basis, and we don't have to go too far to find the bully. We don't have to even go outside of ourselves. We can just listen to our negative talk, or the negative chatter and thoughts that come from our own mind, our own self. And much of the time, many of the moments, we are being bullied by our own thoughts of we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not skinny enough, we're not heavy enough, we're not a good enough, we're just not enough to some extent, to some degree. And therein lies where the bully is right there, front and center, and is sabotaging our day, our life, our moment, our breath, our self, our being. And so what I suggest to you is understand that, if we want to protect our children, our loved ones, our family members, our siblings, even a parent that we as a child watch being bullied at their office and they come home and share the story around the dinner table. We want to protect them. And we're willing to do whatever it takes to protect our loved one. Yet when it comes to protecting ourselves, we are unaware that in fact we have created our own storm, our own perfect bully moment, and yet we are not taking action to stop the bully, to step in and create change for ourselves. And the best way one of the tools to use to shut the bully down is to say no, no, no. No, no, no. Say it out loud. Say it out loud like you mean it. Tell that bully, no, 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 that is not the truth. This is not true. This is not who I am. This is just a story. It's just a story that I made up about myself. It's a story that perhaps a relative told me when I was a kid. Whatever it is, wherever it's coming from, it doesn't matter if it's something that you heard someone else say or if it's your own voice, within your own thoughts that has created this storm for you. This feeling of unrest, this feeling of pain, this feeling of sadness. It's not true. It's not true. It's just a story. The truth is that at the soul level, at your heart level, at your heart space, you are an absolutely beautiful human being. It is how we are invented. It's how we are engineered. It's how we are built. At the heart level, we are all love. And that's all that we're looking for in life is love, to be loved and to share love with others. And it's just through our thoughts that we create this idea that we are not worthy, that we are not lovable, that we are just not enough. And so I invite you anytime in this moment today that you begin to go to that thought of being bullied by yourself, by your own thoughts, and being sabotaged and living in the inner bondage of being bullied, you could tell the bully within us, just say, no, 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 it is not the truth. It's not who I am. And focus on who you really are at your core, at your soul level. And it's a form of biohacking. That's why I say no, no, no all the time. And I flip it to a yes, yes, yes. As my tank top says today, yes, 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 I am healed. And believe me, I say it as I'm hiking. I'm going to start doing some hiking now, so you could enjoy this virtual hike with me this morning as you're coming in, whether it's the evening or morning, the next morning for you, perhaps in Berlin. I don't recall what time it is, Gabrielle, but good evening if it is evening for you in Berlin. But yeah, we can create change. We have to be the ones to create change within ourselves. Nobody can do it for us. It's up to us to be our own change maker. And how we do that is we have to learn the tools. We have to learn how to talk to ourselves. We have to learn how to nurture ourselves, how to nourish ourselves, how to show up for ourselves, as though we're talking to that little child, that little beautiful child that we may have at our home or we may have within ourselves, because we all have our inner child that's still alive. It still has its needs. That little boy inside of me, JJ, he still needs me to show up every single day. And it wasn't until I figured out that I didn't need someone to show up for me anymore. I didn't need a mom. I didn't need a sister. I didn't need an ex-wife. I didn't even need my children. I didn't need my angel to show up. I just needed to show up for me. I needed to learn how to nurture myself, how to nourish myself, how to love myself, how to talk to myself with love, and how to turn off that spigot of negative energy, that negative thought, that negative loop, that negative cycle that was actually hurting me. And so therein lies, there is your gold, liquid gold, pure moment that I'm sharing with you this morning. It's a choice to continue to live in the world of being bullied. And we don't have to go far. We just have to look in the mirror and we could find the bully right here, right now. And it's our choice to allow ourselves to talk to ourselves that way. Or we learn how to just start saying out loud, no, no, no. And with a commanding voice, and then flip it. And go, yes, 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 I am worthy. I do love myself, and I do matter. It's that simple. Not easy, but you got to start somewhere. So I suggest how it worked for me was I just started showing up every single day. No matter what, I show up for myself every day. I'm going to just take another moment here to check in. Michael Brzezowski coming in from New York. Alexi coming in from San Diego. Pam says, Hi, Jay from Canada. Thanks for doing such an amazing show. I am choosing not to let my disease define me anymore. As well, yes, Pam O'Donnell. You got it, girl. You got it. You understand. Priya Sakalani coming in from Mumbai, India. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Good evening. Michael says, happy Friday, Jay, from the island. Christine, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me this morning. You know, I also want to share something that unfolded for me. I had planned on coming in a little bit earlier. I'm actually standing on a boulder right now. I'm going to just give you a different perspective of what I'm looking at, what I am facing this morning. I had one of the most incredible moments this morning, unplanned, and that's when the beautiful gifts come. Oh, it was just yesterday morning that I've got 3 sons I mentioned before. My youngest son, who's 25 years old, he recently moved to New York. When I headed out from the beach in California to the mountains of Arizona, he headed to New York to give New York a shot, like his older brother had done 9 years earlier. And so yesterday morning, he sent me a photograph, a selfie of himself. And it was him sitting reading a book, and his backdrop was, I think it was the Hudson River. I'm not sure which river it was. He lives in Brooklyn, so it's whatever river, maybe it was the East River. I don't know. It doesn't matter what river it was, but he has found his safe space. He has found his space in nature where he goes. He listens to podcasts now. He listens to YouTube, and he reads. And I'm smiling because, you know, it was just a couple of 24 hours ago that he wasn't doing any of those things, just like his dad. You see, his dad, me, I wasn't doing those things either 4.5 years ago. I was just living in pain and not feeling the pain. And it wasn't until I hit my rock bottom that I started to show up and learn that it was up to me to continue to live in the darkness of pain and or to feel the pain and begin the healing process. Well, my son sent me this selfie yesterday, and it opened up an opportunity. Now, keep in mind, my children are not on my Facebook community. I have them blocked. I presume they have me blocked. We keep our lives very private, and they don't know a whole lot about their dad today, because by choice, there's been some conflict within them when I decided to exit out of my marriage. And so they've had to work and navigate through their own emotions and feelings as the family dynamics change between my ex-wife and myself. Well, yesterday morning, I said to my son, who had recently gone through a breakup, I asked him, I said, you know, I actually had the art producer and director from Shark Tank in the studio, and we did a show just a couple of days ago. And he talked about a breakup that he went through after being in a relationship for 2 years with his partner, and how he's navigated through it. And I asked my son, I said, would you be open to watching the interview if I was to send it to you? And he said, yes. And I was like, wow, this is the first time. None of my kids have ever seen a spontaneous live or any of the interviews that I've done, as far as I'm aware. I am not aware that they have. And so I sent them the link yesterday. And this morning, I received a text from my son. Because I'll tell you, I know that I send my shows and my lives to many people, and you just don't know who clicks on it, who takes the time, who invests the time to listen. But apparently my son did, because he sent me this incredible text this morning. And he just opened up. And he said that he watched the show as he was in bed falling asleep last night. And he actually shared a lot of personal emotions and his own experience as he is navigating through a recent breakup himself. And I know that he watched and paid attention to what Josh Richer had to say, because he repeated many of the things that Josh said. And I was just so filled with this incredible feeling of gratitude. And that doesn't even begin to explain what I was feeling emotionally like. We don't know whose life we're touching when we show up for ourselves first, and then do the work, the service work that we do. And one of the prayers that I've had for almost 4 years, for 4 years now, is that the work that I do somehow, some way, circles back and touches my own family, my own children, even my own ex-wife, that impacts their own healing journey, whatever that looks like. And It's been in my prayers and part of myself, part of my wishes for a long time now. And it wasn't until this morning that I understood that Josh touched my son last night, and wow. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh, for touching my own son through the words, your vulnerability, through you having the courage to show up on Real Men, Real Talk, raw, and share your truth, and actually go as deep and vulnerable as you were able to, and you touched my own son, my own child, and yeah. You see, we make a difference. We just don't know when and to whom. But therein lies hope and inspiration that no matter what you got going on in your life, if you show up for yourself first and you learn how to like yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself, eventually you have something more to give to others, and then you get to pay it forward. And then you never know when it's going to come back to you. And so I'm going to jump off. I want to do some grounding. I got to finish up this hike and get on with my day. I've got some coaching ahead of me. But I want to thank you for joining me. One last check-in. Suzette Denny, thank you for being here. And Pam O'Donnell says, it's such a coincidence that you touched on a bully subject today. I had one of those moments yesterday. No. Meditation and mindfulness behavioral pattern changes helps me at a time like that. Pam, thank you so much for sharing your experience with all of us this morning. Make today the best day of your life, because it's the only day that we are guaranteed. Right here, right now. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to do something for yourself, coming from love and kindness, and enjoy your day. Do some self-care, and we'll catch you next time on Spontaneous Live. Take care. Bye-bye.